The P, the U, the R, the E, the B, the O, the Y, the S. It's Pure Boys. Hold up, it's Pure Boys.
Yeah, I got two throats.
The P, the U, the R, the E, the B, the O, the Y, the S. It's Pure Boys. Hold up, it's Pure Boys.
Say what?
Yahweh! What's up, Fudge Packers? Welcome to Pure Boys Podcast. I'm Adam, and you're in.
And don't you fret, this is definitely going to be another two-hander. I am Steve, and we're ready to plug those holes.
Oh, are we ever? Carmelone, mail me a man, you know? That's from before the show.
Yeah, as fast as you can.
Exactly. We were having so much fun before we hit record that we just had to hit record and hope the fun continued.
Spoiler alert, it did not. I am angry as heck.
Me too, even though I will say, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately on the show, but this movie we're talking about today is my favorite movie that we've watched in this whole series.
Which is crazy, because I was afraid, because this kind of movie was something that we have been avoiding in our picks. Something, well, it is Christian as heck, but without shoving it in your face, you know?
Exactly. It just expounds Christian values. And that's because today we're talking about 2021's Farm to Fork to Love. What a title.
Farm to Fork to Love.
Hello, Farm to Fork to Love.
I kept writing Farm to Fork to Table.
So it goes from the farm to your fork, and then before it gets to your mouth, you drop it and it falls on the table, and you ruin your dinner.
Yeah, gross peaches all over the table.
Ugh. Good luck getting that out of the tablecloth. Good luck. You've ruined the tablecloth at the Bowery.
Oh my god, this movie is fancy as heck. It really puts upperclassmen on a pedestal. And I like that.
Me too. Yeah, it really shows that, like, the only important people in the world are people who live and work in New York City. And anyone else is some redneck country bumpkin who wouldn't know French cooking if it was served on a plate in front of them.
How deliciously beautiful was Kansas City, though? What a quaint little city.
Man, I have this note written down where I went, she's falling in love with Kansas City? Oh, okay. Sure, why not? But before we get the art, the museum, the farms, from farm to fork to love, you know?
From farm to fork to table.
Farm to fork to table to love.
Oh, yeah, that's what they should have gone with. That's a mouthful.
Oh, hey. Nice. Now that's a great tagline for this movie. Before we get into Farm to Fork to Love, we need to start this episode the way we start all episodes. And that is, of course, with the Pure Boys prayer.
Put your hands together.
Listeners, put your hands together.
Yeah.
God bless our podcast.
God bless our podcast.
We love you. What was that? Amen. What was that garbage? You know the prayer. You know the prayer.
God bless all podcasts. We love you. Yeah.
That's not what you said. You said our twice, and I stopped because I was mortified at your besmirching this beautiful prayer that we do every week.
I know. I'm feeling a little frisky. I apologize. I've had this is my second coffee. Can you believe?
Oh no!
And we're about to nut.
This is my first Mr. Brown's, if you can believe it.
Oh yeah, you're on the Mr. Brown's train, hey? That can just pops right open and you can slurp it down.
You really can. I shake it every time. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I shake it every time, and it's c'est bon, as they would say in this movie.
You mean it doesn't have shake it every time in big bold letters all over the can?
It's not what he's saying, that's for sure, on the front. Mr. Brown, who looks like he owns slaves. Like, I think that's the thing I love most about the character of Mr. Brown on this can of coffee, is if you told me this guy owns slaves, I'd go, yeah, probably Brazilian slaves. Sure, okay, he's got a plantation down in Brazil, and he's like, yeah, fine, I get it. That's great coffee.
That is good coffee. And the implication is that he does have a bunch of Brazilian slaves, right?
Oh, yeah, he's got a Brazilian of them.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, Monsieur Brun, as I call him.
Yeah.
Because it's fancy. It's fancy coffee.
Yeah, and it's no coincidence that the Brazilians are famously brown.
Of course, yeah, that is what they're known for. They're beaches and they're brown.
And their butts.
Fill them full of silicone. That can't be comfortable to sit on, right? Like, how bizarre is the first time? Like, after you get butt implants. Listeners, if you've ever gotten a butt implant, write in and let us know. But how bizarre must it be the first time you sit after you have gotten butt implants? It's got to be the, like, I don't know, you don't have your sea legs yet. Is probably what it would feel like.
It'd be tough. It would be a whole new world as far as your sitting is concerned.
Yeah.
Do you think you have like a first sitting party?
Hey guys, everyone come over to my house. I'm going to be sitting in all my favorite chairs tonight for the first time with my new ass.
Yeah, you could have like little butt desserts and hors d'oeuvres.
Oh yeah, chocolate volcano cake. You know, just like the real butt party.
No.
Hey man, you brought it up. I didn't bring that up.
I want normal things shaped like butts, like cheese.
Oh, you want a cheese wheel cut in half and placed side by side so it looks like the mounds of a butt.
Yeah, gluteal crease right in the middle.
Oh, beautiful. Eat that booty like groceries, you know?
I do know.
I can't believe that made it into a song that was on the radio. That was like a chart-topping song. I mean, I can believe it because I've heard it and I love it, but
no swears.
Excellent. No swears. Booty's not a swear.
No, not a swear at all. And if you listen to a lot of the songs from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they're pretty effed up.
Well, most of those songs are about pedophilia. That's the thing that I've realized going back and listening to like old songs. I've been playing this game called Mafia 3, and it's set in 1968, and the radio stations are obviously all music from that era. And there's so many songs. There's a song called like "You Belong to Me," and it's just like this guy being like, "Don't forget, go and live your life and have fun, but don't forget, you belong to me." Like, this is a crazy song. And then also all those like young girl get out of my heart, like that kind of like weird pedophile garbage from that era. It's bizarre.
Exactly. So like the early 2000s, all the booty craze, I think, was better.
Yeah, I'll take booty. I'll take eating booties like groceries over creepy men creeping on very young women any day of the week.
Any day of the week, and that's a pure boy stance.
What a brave stance we've taken. Hey, we'll take eating ass over pedophilia any day of the week. How's that sound?
Yeah, because eating ass is the best.
Whoa, tell me about it. This week we're talking about 2021's Farm to Fork to Love, but we've got a couple of little bit of housekeeping things we got to get out of the way. And possibly the most important thing we've got to start with here is a question that I just feel compelled to ask you. And that is, of course, Steve, whomst was the beggar Vance of Love on the Rock?
I've had no time to think about this.
You've had a full week.
I know, but it didn't invade my mind. I have given myself up to Beggar Vance and let him choose for me. So this week, I have to give the Beggar Vance to Luigi.
Luigi?
Luigi.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And why's that?
I would have to say because without his death, his absolute suffering,
his murder.
Yeah, he's probably going to go to hell for stealing and not getting, saved by a priest before
Absolutely.
he died.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so. He stole. But he also, moves the plot forward in this film.
Agreed.
He's also a very Italian man.
Oh, yeah.
Very godly. And I think he really shows the Russian spy to the Lord.
Excellent.
Now, I have a question for you.
Please.
And you really might be miffed on my pronunciation of the question. But whom do you think was the Beggar Vance of Love on the Rock?
Well, thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for taking up 90% of this segment, so I gotta queef out my answer very quickly here. To me, the Beggar Vance of Love on the Rock was, of course, drunk Stephen Bauer's big old floppy monkey lips.
His lips?
His lips and his mouth.
And why?
Oh, sorry, the segment is over. We'll never find out why.
Well, we need a longer song, because I swear I didn't take that long, did I?
I mean, it's a 2-minute and 10-second segment, and you took about 1:40 to give your answer. So, now granted, I'll shave off, 15 seconds because I had to ask you the question initially. So, totally understandable that time could get lost on us.
Definitely shave me.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Hey, anytime you want, man. Just give me a shout. I'll come over and shave you.
Do you want to shave each other? Like faces?
Well, you have a full beard, so I don't know what I would really be doing for you in this case. I of course, just have a handsome mustache, much like Charlie from the Twilight series. So I guess I would trust you with a straight razor to my throat. Sure.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of cheek music, so you can take that off. And my underbelly is pretty hairy and needs a little trimming. So I feel like you would have good space to work. I think it'd be fun. We could tell all the kids in the neighborhood. I don't know.
Gather around, children. We're shaving each other in the front yard this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'd have to be super public, super summer, and a lot of wet grass.
Maybe it's like a fundraiser that we do for TCU to help get those horned frogs a new bus or something.
I say that, or we end Asian hate.
You know what? I'm kind of like at the point where I'm like, let Asian hate continue. If Twitter's going to stop us from spreading the good word, then let Asian hate consume the souls of the hatred. It's fine, man.
I think my underpinning of the event when we shave each other is going to be thinking about stopping Asian hate, and you can't take that away from me, but I agree.
I love the idea of like, what? Okay, so tell us about this. We're interviewed by the news. The local newspaper approaches us, and they go, hey, tell us about this event that you're doing. And we go, well, first of all, we're the Pure Boys, and we're shaving each other's faces to raise money to stop Asian hate. And they'll go, where's that money going to go? And we'll go,
Jackie Chan?
No, that guy's full of hate. He hates people who smoke weed. He would hate us.
Okay.
All right. He made it. He got his son arrested for smoking weed. So you think he's going to care about a couple of jabronis shaving each other over in Haiti? No way.
I think this summer we should get on the news.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Who do you want to kill to do it?
Well, I kind of want to, protest Dolby. I think that gets us on the news.
I forgot that was already our plan for getting on the news, is protesting Dolby. Well, that's easy. So here's what we do. We combine them. We shave each other in front of the cinema while protesting Dolby in an effort to stop Asian hate. How's that sound?
Yeah. The shaving is the main event.
Exactly. The protest is the amuse-bouche, as they would say in the culinary world, and the shaving is the main course, I guess is what they'd call that in the culinary world.
Yeah, we get to get our point across, which is you hate Dolby, and I want more of it, and we also want to stop Asian hate. But we also want to shave each other.
But it's funny because that's kind of the opposite of like, our stance on Dolby is the inverse of our stance on Asian hate. Yeah. Because I hate Dolby, but now I love Asian hate. Now I'm fully on board with Asian hate. So it's like we're butting heads the entire event, which is, that leads to some fun tension that people can enjoy.
Well, why don't we get a teeter-totter? And on one side, there's a scale for Asian hate, and on the other side, there's a scale for Dolby. And we go back and forth, and we let the crowd decide who's on top and who's on bottom.
We let the crowd decide what's more important, more Dolby or less Asian hate. They're going to go, more Dolby, of course.
Give me the Dolby, of course.
Asian hate got wrapped up last year. Now there's no more. It's fine. We stopped it. We tweeted at Gravedigger, and he put hashtag stop Asian hate on the side of the Gravedigger truck, and now no more Asian hate.
Who do you think the media is going to side with, Dolby or stopping Asian hate?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. That's because I think it depends on the publication. Some of them are owned by Rupert Murdoch, and those people are probably all about Asian hate. But then some are owned by theater companies, probably, and those people would be all about the Dolby.
Rupert Murdoch is steeped in Haiti media. And
Oh, yeah.
we got to get them out, but we also got to embrace them more.
I can't believe we haven't started the hashtag Stop Asian Haiti. How have we not done that yet? How has Stop Asian Haiti not become like a thing that we stand by?
I think that might be considered Asian hate, though.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah, which would be on brand for me, Adam, in this case, I guess. So,
Yeah. It comes full circle, I guess, but I don't know.
Maybe that's what my sign says. It says, Dolby is a tool of the devil, stop Asian Haiti. And then people go, oh, well, we know where this guy stands on a lot of issues.
That really cements you into a spot that people will get.
Hey, are you ready for everyone's favorite segment of the week?
I am. It's a twister.
Here we go.
The Kevin Sorbo Tweet of the Week.
Okay, so this is a first time situation. I am going to read a retweet. There's only one person in the entire universe that I would let a retweet of Kevin Sorbo be, and that is his wife. From
okay.
Sam Sorbo.
I thought you were going to say Joe Rogan, but okay. Sam Sorbo, yeah, we love her.
Okay. Yeah, Joe Rogan and Leonardo from the Turtles, then I'll retweet. But this tweet came out on February 22nd at 1:45 p.m. I'm guessing they're both in different commodes in the house, texting each other about how funny this is. And in quotes, she goes, if you homeschool your child, they won't fit in, end quote. And then she bites back, that's the point, period.
Nice. And then Kevin retweeted that.
Kevin retweeted that because he feels very strongly about homeschooling your children to make them socially weird.
Is it anywhere on there, does it say hashtag Stop Asian Haiti?
Let me dig. I'm scrolling. Let me do the wide scroll at the bottom.
Please. Let's see it all.
There was 32,000 likes on this tweet.
Damn.
No, I don't see Stop Asian Haiti.
Fair enough. You know, I will say this. I have known a few kids who were homeschooled when I was a kid. When I was a kid, some new kids moved onto the block for about a year, and they were homeschooled kids. And they were the weirdest goddamn kids I've ever met in my entire life. Like, without a doubt, they were the weirdest kids ever. And, like, there was a son and a daughter that were around my and my sister's age, so we became, like, the four of us all became friends. And, like, not really good friends. Like, I had other friends, but this kid and I, whatever, we were pals. But then when he moved, he gave me a friendship necklace, and I was like, oh, okay, thanks, man. Like, I don't remember your name. Like, I don't, clearly I meant more to him than he did to me. And I think that's the failing of homeschooling, is you get a weird kid who, the first person who's nice to them, they're like, you're my best friend. You go, I don't know. You used to just come into my house without knocking, and I didn't really like that, but, whatever. Stop Asian hate.
Stop Asian hate. I never met a normie that was homeschooled either. I didn't really have an intimate relationship with one like you did, obviously.
Obviously.
Very cold to this poor boy.
Very intimate.
And I love necklaces that signify friendship.
I think I still have it. It's like a yin-yang necklace, but the circle at the bottom of the yin-yang is a smiley face. I'm pretty sure I still have it somewhere. So I guess it meant something to me if I held on to it all these years.
Yeah, maybe he's listening to this right now and he's like Seth Rogen or something.
Maybe. Hey, kid, I don't remember your name, so good luck to you. I don't remember your name, and I give no real personal information about myself on this show, so good luck to you.
Haiti rules.
Haiti rules. Great retweet, as always, Kevin. Yeah. I know the segment's done, but I just wanted to point out one fun thing about that whole piece that they put out there, that art piece that they put out.
Give it to me.
It's Kevin's wife quoting somebody.
Yep.
And then he is retweeting her quoting somebody else. It's like a game of telephone almost with them.
Maybe the original quote was Kevin Sorbo saying that. No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't say that. Maybe maybe their neighbor said it to them or something like that. Like, did she give credit
Ken
to like
Jeong.
Yeah, my stupid neighbor, Ken Jeong?
Texas's own Ken Jeong.
Hey, that's what Texas is known for. Ken Jeong. And homeschoolers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
it must be more prevalent in non-Haiti countries, right?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I get in Haiti, the option is go to school or don't get educated.
Or die.
Yeah. Respect the thin blue line or die. Those are your options.
Yeah, it's rough out in Haiti, but we breadwinners.
That's right. It's rough out in these streets. But, Wyclef's doing a great job rebuilding the country. We love you, Wyclef. Thank you so much for stealing all that money. We appreciate you and all the money you stole from the Rebuild Haiti campaign. You're the best.
Thank you for our power grid.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Lord Jesus, a.k.a. Wyclef Jean.
And Wi-Fi. Wyclef brought Wi-Fi.
Hey, That's not a bad promotional line. To be like, like he would spell it W-Y-F-Y, Wi-Fi.
W-Y-F-Y.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he changed his name to Wi-Fi Clef Jean.
That's a shirt.
That is a shirt. Wi-Fi Clef Jean.
You can't get mad at that. You'd probably give us money.
I mean, honestly, if we're going to start a hashtag for this show, it shouldn't be Stop Asian Haiti. It should be Wi-Fi Clef Jean.
That's good on the poster, too, for, the thing we're doing.
Hey, real quick, how did it go with purchasing the rights to Eric Clapton's GayPoolParty.com?
I didn't go for it. I thought it was too mean to society.
Well, you're a coward, and history will judge you as one.
Yeah, but I also think I did a good thing for the kids.
Well, I guess so. I mean, we do have the Eric Clapton deathpool.gay on bookie.com, so you could probably just look that up, I guess, and find it there and vote on the death pool.
Yeah, pick a date. And if you pick a date, we will read it on air.
That's right. So far, I don't think we've even picked a date.
No, we haven't picked a date, but I'm sure you could probably put a note in there, and we will read whatever you put.
Exactly. Unless it says the N-word, in which case I'll make Steve say it.
Or the B word.
I'll say the B word. That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. A friend of mine asked me to read a script for her, like a script she'd written. She asked me to she was auditioning someone. She asked me to read the other side of the scene for this person. And my first question, of course, was, how many times is the N-word said in this? And she said 0 times. And I went, I'll pass. And I don't know what happened with that script, so who cares?
You passed.
Of course. Yeah. I come from the Quentin Tarantino school of acting.
So.
Yeah, don't call me an asshole, buddy. I'll call you an asshole.
All right.
This week. Hey, let's go, let's God.
Yeah, shave me first. Let's go.
I will shave you first. At our Stop Asian Haiti, Wi-Fi Clef Jean, Down with Dolby event, we will, you'll get shaved first, don't worry. Because mine will take longer, so it's going to be more of an event. Yours, like they say in the culinary world, will be an amuse-bouche.
Yeah, a touch-up.
An amusing bush.
Should we shave our legs, or is that just, worn-out territory?
Why don't we shave half of our head, but we'll shave, alternate half. So you can shave the driver's side of your head, I'll shave the passenger side of my head.
Okay, and then we'll smush them together in a Quentin Tarantino-esque poster.
Exactly, like the movie Face Off.
Yeah, that was a Quentin Tarantino job, right?
It's a classic, yeah. Like the movie Face Off, or that picture from the first Mighty Ducks where they show Coach Bombay and Coach Orion in the newspaper, and it looks like the cover of Face Off.
Gush.
Hey,
Gush
for Coach Orion.
Love the Hawks.
Look, man, it's not worth winning if you can't win big. And that's really the lesson of 2021's Farm to Fork to Love. Not a PureFlix classic. Not even really sure. Well, I guess I don't even know why it's on PureFlix, to be honest. There is the God in this movie is so subtle, it's almost like it's not there.
It's almost like it's not there, but he does linger in the background as a ghost of love.
As the ghost of God. The Holy Spirit.
I feel like this is on PureFlix because it's super cheap to get the rights to, and it doesn't have any explicit nudity or language.
Yeah, that is interesting. I was expecting some very explicit nudity, especially from Chef Raphael, but we don't get any of that, so maybe next time.
There is explicit actions in the way that everybody is eye-fricking each other. But other than that, there is no penetration that is seen. The
only penetration we get is someone penetrating a delicious pancetta into their mouth.
Yeah. That was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh.
Poetry, even.
Man, my first note for this movie is delicious looking food, and that carries through the entire production.
Oh yeah, the montages that you're fed with.
Hey, great word usage.
I stumbled at the end because I didn't know what was going on anymore. I was trying to read my notes and also say fed stuff.
Well, you nailed the pun. You just didn't stick the landing. But I'm here to appreciate the pun, not the overall thing.
If you think I'm gonna stick the landing, shut up.
If you think Larry isn't going to overcook those shrimp just because he wants to cook burgers, then shut up.
Oh boy, the cooking talk in this movie made me
Like I said, this is like my favorite movie that we watched. I am a sucker for like romantic cooking movies, I've realized. I love Julie and Julia. That's like legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love Julie and Julia. And this movie is, hey, they shout out Julia Child's in this movie. So, close to my fart. But this movie I love watching people cook. That food looks so good. Not filling, but good.
I haven't seen Julie and Julia. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's very good. It was
very big. For a long time, years I was hearing about Julie and Julia. Like once it came out on streamers, they were like, "Hey, did you guys see it in the theater? Hey, Julie and Julia."
Hey, Stop Agent Hey, did you see Julie and Julia?
Exactly. A lot of people would stop me on the street and say those phrases to me.
As they should, and you should see it. It is wonderful. And I have this note written, and maybe I was just thinking about Julie and Julia while I was watching this, but I went, this movie is great, but it would be better if Stanley Tucci was in it. That's what this movie is missing. A little touch of the Tucci. That's, that would have been delicious.
Tucci should have played Janet Silver.
Who's Janet Silver?
You don't remember Janet Silver? First, she's named.
Oh,
her name is Janet Silver.
You're right.
And
no,
she's
I do.
The food critic at the beginning.
You're right. She was my least favorite person in the movie. But I agree that he would have been a great Janet Silver. I would have even accepted him as like the concierge at the hotel. Like even a small little, just like I said, a touch of the Tooch, just a little bit, not too much. Just hey, it's me, Stanley Tucci. That's a good impression.
C'est bon.
C'est bon. I'm really revealing a lot of truth about myself here, but I love Stanley Tucci as well. I think he's great in everything. Show me a bad Stanley Tucci performance. You can't find it.
Well, he is an original pepperoni salami.
He is. He is Mr. Pepperoni Salami, as he's known in Hollywood.
Have you seen his food show?
I didn't know he had a food show. Don't tease me, bro. Is that for real?
Yeah, I think he tours Italy, and it came right out like at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh.
And people didn't really want to see rich people traveling and eating at that time, I don't think it did well.
But I do if it's Stanley Tucci. Oh my god, I didn't know that was a show. Oh my god. That sounds so much better than Giada in Italy.
I would check it out. I think it'd be right up your level. Put a towel under yourself, though.
Yeah, of course. Stanley Tucci cooking. Oh, hey, Stanley Tucci Italy. First thing that comes up. Gosh damn. Stanley Tucci searching for Italy. 2 seasons? Oh my god. I know what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Just watching Stanley Tucci charmingly tour Italy.
Can you please send me some texts with some updates, or write them down while you're writing if you don't want to get too into like another electronic device?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll have a Twitter off about it.
It would be my pleasure to live tweet my experience of watching Stanley Tucci Searching for Italy, a CNN original.
Associated with Farm to Fork to Table to Love.
Farm to Fork to Table to Love to Poop to Toilet.
To poop to toilet.
Yeah, that is the thing that's always left out of like Farm to Table, is that the next steps are poop to toilet.
Well, mouth to poop to toilet.
Exactly. Don't switch those up. Don't put farm to fork to poop to mouth to toilet. Don't do that. Because that implies that implies a whole other thing, a whole other process that's happening in there.
Yeah, South Park would do something like that.
And hey, we're much more highbrow than that lowbrow show.
Yeah, that lowbrow show is piss.
Oh, That lowbrow show is farm to fork to poop to mouth to toilet. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, to piss after
Exactly.
the toilet. Here's a little vinegar in your love.
Sure.
I don't really like Stanley Tucci.
Well, you know what? Different strokes for different folks, and I don't. I have no problems with that because you're not watching Stanley Tucci Searching for Italy with me. So do whatever you want with your stupid, pointless life at this point. Then you stupid jerk.
He's too strong looking. I know I'm a stupid jerk, and I shouldn't have even brought it up. But he's just too perfect. He is modern day Statue of David.
Amen to that. Yeah, he's got a little acorn. He's got big buff muscles. He's 9 feet tall. He is everything you want out of a man.
He's both 9 foot tall and 4 foot tall, I feel.
Yeah, he is everything and nothing all at once.
He's an animorph.
He is an animorph, for sure. Absolutely.
The Italian Animorph.
How many Animorph podcasts are there? Should we start the first Animorph podcast and just do a series read-through? Read the Andalite Chronicles and read the Megamorph series and just all the Animorphs.
Now that's a midweek freak treat, I feel.
Brother, don't tempt me with a good time because you know that I'll call your bluff on this and we will do a midweek freak treat Animorph complete series read-through in a heartbeat.
I love the idea of reading an Animorph book every single week and then talking about it.
They are quick reads. My wife and I were reading them recently. Within the last 2 years. But they go by quick. You just zip right through them because they're children's
45
books.
minutes.
Yeah, they're children's books. You just fart them out.
Oh, yeah, you can fart them out easily. You could do it in a day.
Oh, no, Tobias, don't forget to transform out of your hawk form. Oh, my God, he's stuck. He's stuck forever.
That's going to be a lot of it, is them forgetting or not wanting to animorph back into males or females.
Yeah, I guess that's interesting. They never really addressed that. What if Jake just came back and he was a female all of a sudden? And Rachel was like, I don't understand what you're doing to me, cousin.
Yeah, does one of the books discuss sexing?
I think so. Yeah, I think Cassie has a real undertaking of a sexual identity journey in the Animorph series.
You could be saying any names right now, but I feel like you are specifically talking about Animorph names.
I am. I'm talking about Marco and Cassie and Rachel and Tobias and Jake, of course. I know them all.
See, and I'm a new comer to the series, so I feel like that would play well on air.
You haven't read Animorphs?
I watched Animorphs. I was a watcher, not a reader.
The Sean Ashmore television series? No, thank you. No, spank you, Basil.
Well, spank me all you want, because we're gonna maybe do this series.
We're gonna talk about this off air, genuinely, listeners.
Oh, yeah.
The Pure Boys might do an Animorphs read through. We'll see. It is.
Well,
I will say
if
this:
we can get our hands on some PDFs,
brother, I already got them. How do you think I was reading it a couple years ago? Stolen PDFs. Hear that, FBI? And I do it again.
Yeah, the female body inspectors.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's at least what my hat says.
I need a hat.
Man, I would love nothing more. And I've mentioned this on other podcasts I've been on, but it's worth mentioning on this one. So I've said it on every show I've ever done. But I would love to get a t-shirt that says porn and then has a star next to it. Remember that great brand that you'd buy at Bootlegger or Blue Notes? And you get your porn star t-shirt and your female body inspector hat, and you just go hit the town after that.
Yeah, it really puts your personality on a sleeve and tells the whole world who you are, which is a cool arse dude.
Yeah, which is a horn dog.
I mean, it must have happened in the late 90s, early 2000s, because that's what was at play, is pimps and porn stars.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Bishop Don Magic Wand.
Public figures.
That's right.
In great regard.
Celebrity pimps. Can you imagine a time when there were celebrity pimps? It was only 21 years ago. Less than that. 17 years ago.
Everybody loved it. The men, the women, the bigs, the littles.
They loved it. They loved it. They loved Iceberg Slim. They loved all the famous pimps of the early 2000s. I mean, Iceberg Slim is like an OG pimp, but, pimp culture is amazing.
Was amazing, and I'm glad it's dead and gone.
Well, it's back where it belongs, on the streets. Hey, what are we talking about this week? Farm to fork to poop to love to mouth to toilet.
Hey, perfect.
Hey. So who is this movie about?
This is well, I'll give you what I thought this movie was going to be about, because I went into this stone cold without any information. Based on Pure Flix movies in the past.
Yeah, sorry, I just need to interrupt for just a second here. Normally, when we pick a movie, this is for the listener, not for you. You know this information, but normally when we pick a movie, we'll look at Pure Flix, we'll go through the list and see what's in there, and then we'll read the description and we'll have a laugh, and maybe there's a Christian viewing guide to it that we'll read and we'll have a laugh. But this time, all I said was, "What do you think about Farm to Fork to Love?" And Steve went, "Say no more. I'm in for this movie. I don't care what it's about. That title is a winner."
I was in like Flint, and I did not want to have any information, any description of the people or the places or the things. None of that. So this is what I thought it would be, based on our history and life experience.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's an orphan or an orphanage in 90% of Pure Flix things. So I figured this was going to be an orphanage farm that sells produce at a local farmer's market.
Okay, I mean, some of the elements you've got right. The lead male Christian is an orphan.
Oh, yeah, big orphan.
I mean, he is. His parents are dead. Yeah, parents are dead.
Yeah,
he is an orphan. Even if your parents die when you're 45, you're still an orphan at that point.
So the orphanage finds out that big business has been poisoning the well, and through God, they kill big business by turning their poisoned food into a highly toxic but profitable food additive.
But profitable, yum.
This is what I thought the plot was. I realized I forgot about the love aspect of Farm to Fork to Love, so I added the hot, voluptuous head chef of the orphanage falls in love with the dumb gardener. And this is what I thought the movie was going to be.
The dumb gardener who stepped on too many rakes, gotten hit in the face with them, and now his brain don't work as good as it used to.
A good rake setup is a good start to a movie. That could have been a good 30-minute credit scene, 30-second credit scene.
Just a montage of all of his life of getting hit in the face with rakes, and then much like a Mortal Kombat fatality, you see the inside of his brain getting the blood clots forming on it over the years, and the centers, the light going dark in some areas, and then he's lovable Richard Karn by the end of it.
Yeah, he's very dumb, but very strong and hairy.
And hung.
Yeah, hairy and hung.
Mm-hmm. Hey, is that the name of our next podcast?
Oh, we'll see.
Maybe
we'll float it around.
Maybe that's the name of our Animorphs podcast. Harry and Hung, an Animorphs podcast.
They do become hairy, and I would assume their vaginas get tighter or their penises get bigger.
Well, I know for a fact that on one of the covers, Cassie turns into a horse. So there's definitely some horseplay going on. It's not clear, but if I had to guess, I'd say yes, of course. All horses are male. Everybody knows that.
Yes, I super picky. The horse is a male.
Exactly. Much like all dogs are male and all cats are female, all horses are also male.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, when an Animorph horse.
Exactly. I mean, have you ever seen a woman that buff? No, I don't think so.
So the movie starts, and I was wrong about a lot of things.
Yeah, you were wrong about almost everything in your description. Although there is a farmer's market, and Christian is a orphan. So you got those things absolutely correct. And there is kind of this friction between big cities, in quotes, big business, and small country life, aka an orphan's farmer's market stall. So you got some of the dynamics correct, certainly.
But the female lead isn't as voluptuous as I had in my head.
No, definitely an A. Yeah.
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 Cup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. She's got, okay. It's Alice.
Beautiful A cups.
Oh, beautiful A cups. Alice is our lead. She is the sous chef at the Bowery, one of New York's finest restaurants.
Bowery.
The Bowery.
I wouldn't want to eat there. The Bowery? That sounds terrible. It sounds like rich bullcrap.
Well, and to hear head chef Brett talk about it, all they serve is steak and potatoes. And I go, hey, I've already got the keg. What do I need the Bowery for?
I love how in 2021 that's a plot line, is that a man wants steak and potatoes at his high-end restaurant.
Like in New York City, and people are like, this is the finest restaurant in New York City. Steak and potatoes is what people want here.
Yeah, maybe in like 1980 or something like that, when they were doing so much coke, all they could consume was steak and potatoes.
They just wanted coke and gout. That's what they were all about in the 80s.
Well, it has a strong enough flavor to combat all the damage you've done to your nostrils.
Exactly, yeah. Talk to Artie Lang about that. I'm sure that guy loves steak and potatoes.
And our guest today is Artie Lang.
Artie Lang, tell us how your nose doing. Not good.
What do you feel about Dolby?
I wish there was more of it. Well, looks like I got a mark on my side here.
Cool. Yeah.
Nope, sorry, you're more Dolby. I'm less Dolby. I keep getting confused. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I feel like you secretly do want more Dolby.
I do. Yeah, I like a good theatrical. I want a theatrical experience that rattles my bones. Not if I want to listen to wimpy sound, I'll just like watch TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got the biggest sound system I know.
Hey, thanks, man. Thank you for noticing.
I always notice a big sound system.
I started a new job recently, and the person at the job said, like, well, we hired you because, like, most of the people we've hired in the past have been, like, just, like, young kids who just aren't responsible, but you're an adult man. And I went, thank you so much for noticing. And their brain, like, broke. They, like, didn't know how to respond to that. They went, and then just, like, reset and went, okay, let's just move on.
I love that thought process because they should be saying something, and it's not like you said something that complicated, but it was out of line with what 99% of the population would say in that situation.
Yeah.
So they just gotta move on.
Hey, I'm nothing if not grateful. So thank you so much for noticing that I am an adult male. I appreciate that, and I love you for it.
And if you wanted a stupid, dumb non-response, you should have hired a boy.
Yeah, you should have hired some young, hung, gung-ho dingus. But they didn't.
Yeah, sack full of erm.
They hired me.
Yeah,
no
an
worm.
old man.
No worm in this sack.
That's the highlight.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a stick in your craw when you were like a young kid and they would hire older people just because they're older and more mature?
Right, and have more.
And now it's totally flipped.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, hey, where's my erm?
Yeah, where is my erm?
I go to church every
Give
Sunday.
me some tea.
I fall down on my knees in front of the statue of Jesus, and I go, where is my erm? And the rest of the congregation is not thrilled with that.
Yeah, but somebody in an overcoat comes by and sticks you with a needle that says testosterone on it.
It just says erm.
Wow.
They pump that right into my
That's
muscles.
where
And I
they
go,
earned it.
please don't do that. Please don't pump that erm right into my muscles. Oh,
That's not where erm goes.
no, not at all. It goes in my mouth. Anyway, so so Alice is the sous chef at this restaurant. It's a big night. Janet Silver is coming in to write a review of the restaurant. They've made her list 10 years in a row. They want to make it 11, which, like, after 10 years, who cares? Like, oh,
yeah,
the 11th year in a row we made her top 10.
It doesn't make any sense. This restaurant and this reviewer are so East London.
Oh, truly, yeah. The most snooty, like, blah, oh, you don't know. Oh, I'm Janet Silver. You don't have a table for me? Well, I'm Janet Silver. And they go, oh, man, we have a table for you right here. I'm so sorry.
And then she drops her coat off her shoulders and just expects somebody to, like, grab it for her so it doesn't fall on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, you piece of crap.
And, like, she's, like, orgasmic eating swordfish. Like, if I was at that restaurant near her, like, if my table was next to hers, I'd be like, sorry, could I get a different table as far away from this person as possible? Like, they are ruining my dinner by eating alone and going, after every bite. Like, we get it. You're famous. Now shut up and eat your swordfish.
Oh, yeah. Shut up and eat your swordfish for sure. That's the energy I'd be putting out. I would probably whisper in her ear something like, I'll have what she's having, and she wouldn't understand.
Right. She'll go, that'll be a $150 plate of swordfish. And I'll go, I'll have the bread rolls, please.
Oh,
check, please.
do you think she has anybody under the table?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's the Janet Silver experience. You go to a restaurant, you expect the waitresses to know who you are, and you expect one of them to get under the table.
How rich do you have to be to have under the table person at a restaurant?
To have under the table service? I mean, you have to be rich enough that they clear a table for you when you arrive. That they kick people out, and then they go, look, this is the table with the roomiest space underneath. There's going to be people going in and out of there all night. So we need to make sure that this area is cleared for Janet Silver.
It has to be cleared.
Yeah.
There's no other choice, or Janet Silver is going to, have a hissy fit.
She's going to write a bad review. She's not going to like the Blancat de veau that we serve her.
Because it has parsley, and she is very allergic.
That was infuriating. So Alice makes this, the special that night is Blancat de veau, which I thought was gravy when she was making it. And I was like, that's a gross looking lumpy gravy, but it's not. It's like a clam chowder looking thing, kind of, I guess. I don't know what it is, but it's like a soupy chowder type dish. And Janet has loved everything that she's tasted. And then she tastes the Blancat de veau and she loves it, but then she starts having an allergic reaction, and it turns out there's parsley in it, and she's allergic to parsley. And I went, maybe you shouldn't be a food critic then, because parsley is a very common garnish and thing in recipes. So if you're just going like, oh, I'm allergic to salt, like, well, you can't just take out this thing that's crucial to cooking.
Oh, and you're 100% correct in having that opinion. But she has been a food critic in this town for 10 years, and every chef in New York knows that she's allergic to parsley. I mean, she expects somebody to pick up her coat for her.
That's true, except Chef Alice. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. Janet is mad, but Chef Alice is right. She goes, well, there was nothing wrong with the dish. Like, the dish was great. It's just she has this stupid food allergy that... Sorry, I didn't know you're allergic to parsley, a thing that I've never heard of anyone being allergic to.
And Janet Silver says right before she has it, oh, awesome, there's something different on this menu for once in the 11 years I've been coming here.
Yeah.
Loved the dish, and then choked and died.
Yeah, I'm eating steak and potatoes every time I come here. Finally, Blancat de veau. Finally something with some flavor to it.
Some jus on les incompétents.
Oh, I would love a cup of jus. Oh, hey, you basically drink a cup of jus every midweek freak treat.
Basically, drink your bone broth, everybody. Collagen, it's for real.
It's for real, and it needs to be in you.
It really does need to be in you.
The Gotham Gala? As in the biggest culinary event in New York City? Great writing. Top-notch writing.
The exposition in this movie is very explicit. You're 10 to 15 minutes in, and you know exactly where this movie is going to take you. But you're so on for the ride because of all the great food art.
Exactly. So Alice gets invited to be a judge at a cooking competition in Kansas City for St. Andrew's Hospital fundraiser thing, but it's the same weekend that the Bowery is going to be cooking for the Gotham Gala, and her boyfriend is not impressed with her decision to go to this stupid little cooking competition in podunk nowhere, aka Kansas City.
Her boyfriend boss is the head chef. She is the sous chef, the lowly, stupid, dumb, idiot, coq au vin sous chef.
Cut the vegetables. Cut the vegetables. Cut the meat. Do what I tell. Cut this, cut that. Sous chef, the lowest of the low. Even lower than dishwashers.
Much lower than dishwashers. Dishwashers need to be there to clean the dishes.
They're crucial. Without them, there's no clean dishes for the food. So respect your dishwashers, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're saying.
And your floors.
Exactly. And salute our shorts. Alice has great friends in this movie. I really liked Alice's friends. They're super encouraging of her to go to the competition, and they say great things like, hey, Alice, don't be afraid to have your own dreams. And you go, I wonder if that's going to be the theme of this movie. Spoiler alert, it is.
Yeah, they really echo what the audience wants out of this lead character, and they want her to fall in love. They want to leave her choking boss boyfriend.
Yeah.
And live her dreams with a rich man in Kansas City.
Her boyfriend looks like, what's his name? The guy who played Spawn. Michael Jai White, is that his name? Something like that?
I think that's Urkel.
Yeah, yeah, it might be. I feel like I'm mixing. I feel like I have some of the right name and then also Urkel's name in there. I just don't know which is which. But that guy, he looks a lot like that guy. He's just jacked as frick, way too jacked for a chef. I got to be honest. Less time in the gym, more time in the kitchen, my man.
I feel like chefs are either like super crazy fit or like the other side of the spectrum.
But the other side of the spectrum is who I want making my food. I don't want a buff chef making me steak and potatoes. I know this muscle bozo can do that. I want someone who loves making food, aka Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah, you definitely want somebody to get outside of the spectrum of steak and martinis, and you want somebody that has love in their heart when they're cooking.
Oh, you want a Stanley Tucci? That's what I mean. God, aren't we all just looking for a Stanley Tucci?
Nah. Spider-Man, Stanley Tucci, too much.
Spider-Man, Stanley Tucci?
Yeah, he was in Spider-Man as the guy with the glasses.
Whom?
Whomst?
Whomst was the Stanley Tucci of Spider-Man.
He had like 8 like robotic arms and like goggles.
No, you're thinking of Alfred Molina. Have you been thinking about Alfred Molina this whole time? Alfred Molina is not Stanley Tucci.
Listen, I know who Stanley Tucci is. I was pulling your leg.
Listen, watch Julie and Julia, and then you come back to me and tell me. I even love him in The Devil Wears Prada.
So then,
he is great.
Is Julie her name?
Who?
Is it Julie from Julia?
Julie. Okay, so the premise of Julie and Julia is that Julie is a chef in the modern day, and she's looking, her career is just in a bit of a slump. She writes, she wants to find something to like kickstart her love of cooking again. So she gets a Julia Child's cookbook, her famous French cookbooks, of which I have. And I've barely cooked anything out of them because they are very intimidating, but still nice to have in the kitchen. Makes you look very professional. Julie starts a blog where every week, I think, she cooks another dish out of Julia Child's cookbook. At the same time, there are flashbacks to the story of Julia Child's writing this cookbook in like France and Italy and like all over the place in like the 60s or the 50s. And Stanley Tucci plays Julia Child's husband. It's a very beautiful love story that they have. And just the love of cooking connects these two women across generations and across the spectrum of time and space.
So Stanley Tucci is in that film.
Yeah, he's dead in the modern day in that film.
Oh, okay. So he plays a depressed old man in Julie and Julia.
Oh, no. Quite the opposite. He is a man full of joie de vivre in those movies. He loves his life with his wife and the love they have and the way cooking brings them together is just a beautiful love story.
Oh, yeah. So it brings them together, eh?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I would say so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're winking at each other, just so you know.
Well, he's winking at me. I can't wink, so.
You can't wink?
Nah, I just kidding. I'm winking right now. I was just kidding.
Alice goes to Casey and says F you to the chef, but there's not really like a fight they have.
No.
She just kind of is on her way to Casey.
Yeah, I do like that there's that isn't really like that. It's just like, yeah, she goes to Kansas City. Of course she's not going to miss this opportunity. Like, F him. You got a whole team of sous chefs. You don't need her. You're great.
I feel like a scene was cut there, but so what? You get to see beautiful Kansas City right away, and that's what this movie really is about.
I love that when because she's a judge, they've set her up really nice. Plane tickets are bought. Limousine is there to pick her up, and I love that like as she's driving through the city, she rolls down the window, but it's October and it looks friggin' cold in Kansas City, so she very quickly rolls that window right back up.
There's got to be a song that is titled "Cold in Kansas City." That just seems beautiful.
Well, I mean, to twist the phrase a little bit, there is a song called "Roll Out" by Ludacris that's kind of about rolling up your windows.
I guess were you not taken by Kansas City? I thought it was absolutely gorgeous.
You know what? There's some perks to living in a smaller city, other than New York City. You know, you got to live in a smaller city. It's there's less traffic. There's less fighting for parking. There's less cars on the road. Most of the benefits, according to Christian, are car-based from the sounds of it.
Yes, but I also felt like their museum and their architecture and the red brick and the space. It seemed like a beautiful town.
I agree. I've never been to Kansas City. I've only been to Denver. I don't really know a lot about America. But it's KC's on the list. Plus, they got the Royals, and they were MLB champs. They won the pennant a few years ago.
I believe so, and
Maybe?
it takes a little while to go from here to there.
Yeah, it takes a little while to go from zero to hero, and that's what we learn on Stanley Tucci exploring Italy.
Could you have asked more out of the competition, the cooking competition that she goes to judge? Like, it's just a treat throughout the movie.
It is the through line of the movie is this cooking competition. We get introduced to 3 lovely chefs, and that would be Chef Lee, who, believe it or not, is Asian. And we get Chef Rodriguez, Chef Martinez, who is like the worst of the chefs, apparently. He doesn't win anything. And then, of course,
Rodriguez Martinez.
And of course, we get the best chef in this movie. We get Chef Raphael out of France. And from the minute this guy spoke and his blue eyes sparkled, I was in love.
Well, this Chef Raphael is a slow burn. He gets introduced on screen and doesn't say much for like 20 minutes. And he's just like this bumbling, old, doofus-looking man. And with his walk and the way he carried himself and the giggly nature of his face, really drew me in before he said anything.
Legitimately, Chef Raphael is the best part of this movie. He's like this super charming Frenchman who just has great advice and loves cheese and just loves cooking, and also is putting on a French accent the entire time. The guy who plays him, his name is Matt Hudson. And he's from Flint, Michigan, and he does not sound like Chef Raphael at all. I watched his demo reel, and I'm like, this guy is a bad actor, but he's really good in this movie. This is like make this your demo reel, my dude. You're great in this. I thought he was French watching it.
He's very French. I feel like his aura and the energy he puts off is like a bunny rabbit from Bambi. It's just so cute and so cool. But also, he's hanging major dong.
Yeah, he's got scars on his face, and you go like, man, this guy has lived a life. And those beautiful blue eyes that just pop right out of his head. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say, his eyes are so piercing and bright blue. It's, hard to look away from them.
It's a face you get when your dick grew too big when you were in puberty.
You're confident and you know it.
Yeah, and you get scars on your face.
Yeah, exactly. Because you were trying to S your D and who knows what happened.
Yeah, who knows how far you can reach on this day. It's grown another inch.
What did you think of Tony Mitchell?
Tony Mitchell? That's the orphan.
No, Tony Mitchell is the other judge, the lady cookbook writer.
Yeah.
Who has a book.
I should have remembered.
She has a book, according to this movie, called Tony on the Teat, or Tony at the Teat, which I must have misheard that. It must have been Tony Appetit or something like that. But
it's Tony Appetit.
But it's way better for it to be called Tony at the Teat.
Well, Tony at the Teat for sure. And I really should have remembered who this was, because as soon as she came on the screen and said her name, I said more like Tony Mitchell.
Oh, burn. But she's great. I like, after Chef Raphael, Tony Mitchell is my, right up against him as my favorite character in this movie.
The problem with Tony Mitchell is that at the judging table, which is a lot of her movie, is she's whispering or too scared to say her lines for a bit of it. She comes into her own at the end of the movie
when they're cooking,
when she's cooking and What of Eve and all that. But she's quiet. She's tense for her judging scenes.
I don't think that's her fault though, because the sound mix in this movie is somehow worse than Love Different. It's somehow, this is a professional movie, and the sound mix is atrocious. Everyone is wearing lapel mics. Everyone is touching their lapel mics. Just the entire movie. the audio for the talking is super low. The audio for the music is super high. And it's just like, who the hell did the audio engineering on this? Fire that person or send them back to audio school.
They definitely chose the wrong Dolby.
Yeah.
Some scenes are echoey. Not everybody is mic'd appropriately. The sound really lets you down. The green screen, on the other hand, is just used to perfection throughout.
You're talking about when they're up on the roof?
Up on the roof.
Oh, up on the roof. That's a song about pedophilia, probably. That's from that age.
Probably.
Yeah. My favorite line from Chef Tony Mitchell is when they arrive at the farm to like do their shopping at this farm. She gets off the bus and goes, I just smelled something so wonderful, I'm going to follow my nose. I went, all right, you're on a farm, so take it easy. Watch where that nose is taking you. Don't just let it lead you where it will, or else you're going to be farm to fork to butt to toilet again.
I kind of like it. It sets her up as the Toucan Sam of judging food competitions, and that kind of fits her really well. Also, more like Tony Mitchell.
Yeah, of course. Tony Mitchell, yeah. Tony Mitchell the Tiger. I know you said Toucan Sam, but I just, the other mascot was right there. Yeah, yeah. We also get introduced to Daniela, who is Christian's aunt, who runs a foundation, and she runs the foundation that puts on this cooking competition. And also, she definitely wants a piece of that French baguette, if you know what I'm saying.
She's diving at that French baguette all film. She wants to give up her career. She also owns like a slew of hotels, and that's why she has this contest on for charities and foundations and all that crap.
It's a fundraiser for like put on by this hotel chain.
Exactly. But she wants to give it all up for this French baguette.
Oh, we should stop referring to him as a French baguette. That's starting to sound like a hate crime. The more we say it, the more I don't like it. And I know I started
don't like it.
It just feels like a hate crime to just point at someone, to drive by someone on the street and yell, "You baguette!" out of the window. I feel like that's not going to land well in 2022. Here comes the glue.
I think it depends on where you're pointing. If you're pointing like dead right at a crotch, then it's a positive. You're off by a millimeter on that crotch, and it's a hate crime.
It's a hate crime for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Those two are flirting. Their sparks are flying, kind of like he seems like like she's throwing it at him, and he's just kind of like, I love to cook. Oh, I love to cook. I wash my own dishes, and a chef's work is never done. And she's like, what if I went to France? What could I get a table at your restaurant? And he's just like, pass me the ladle. I need to clean my ladle. So,
he's always tasting cheeses.
Mm-hmm.
He's always talking about how passionate he is about his life and how rewarded his career has made him.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't respect any other person who would give that up or doesn't have a passion.
Yeah. Like, I love that. So, spoiler, at the end of the movie, those two end up together. Daniela and Chef Raphael end up together. Of course they do. But, like, he is like a killing it chef in France, and she's running this organization in, like, Kansas City. How are they going to make that work? How is that going to work out for either of them?
They do have global hotels, and she's probably so rich that she could, like, have an instant teleporter take her there. Because, the rich are living in a different universe.
That's true. She's got that old money.
Yeah, she's talking to whoever's running this simulation.
Yeah, and it's also worth pointing out that she didn't make any of that money on her own. She inherited the job after her husband died. So she's basically a franchisee. Like, she got the rights to this hotel chain that's worth bajillions. So for her to pat herself on the back too much is a little disingenuous, I would say.
Well, she's living La Vida Loca. She's finding her way through life and probably banging a lot of, bellboys.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, that concierge that they meet, that Alice meets at the hotel, is maybe my third favorite character in the movie. He's so professional. He's so good at his job. He's got recommendations. He's got a charming smile. He's just a great guy. The kind of person that would make you feel very comfortable if you arrived at a hotel.
He's got a jaw that runs for miles.
Oh, yeah. He covers it up with a beard, though. Let that jaw breathe, baby. Let me shave you in front of a movie theater.
I think you can see a jaw through a beard.
I mean, I think you can too, but I just feel like his jaw, show the world,
more like Tony Mitchell.
Hey. So cooking competition is great. All the dishes look amazing. I love that every category, like it's like make an appetizer, then the next competition is make an entree, then the final one is make a dessert. But then they're like, but we're gonna throw you a little curveball. And like, but each curveball is exactly the same. It's all just a variation of like make a dish you love. And they're just like, make a dish that reminds you of your childhood. Make a dish that reminds you of your heart. It's like, yeah, it's all the same thing.
They have 3 courses to make. The first time they get an hour to do like the starter.
The appetizer, yeah.
Yeah. And then they need more time for the movie. So for the entree, the main course, they give them 24 hours.
Same with the dessert. They give them 24 hours to make a dessert.
That makes sense to me, though, because you really need time for a good dessert.
Oh, if you're going to make a souffle or a cake, then I guess you need 24 hours to figure out what kind of cake you want to make.
Cake you want to bake?
Cake you want to make. Or if you're Chef Lee, you make black sesame soup. Yeah, no thanks on that dessert, pal. Not interested. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but like, give me cake. Give me Chinese donuts. I've eaten Japanese dessert and it's awful. So I can't imagine Chinese dessert is like a lot better.
It's basically fried bowls in sauce.
Yeah, it's fried balls in like a runny pudding. I go, nah, no thanks.
Yeah, I'm all in, baby.
Black sesame soup, yum yum. Nothing says delicious to me like black goop on a plate. Yum yum.
Hoisin sauce? That's black goop I can get into.
You know what? You'll get no argument from me on that. Also, there is an utterly pointless point system in this competition where if you win round 1, you get 100 points. If you win round 2, you get 200 points. And if you win round 3, you get 300 points. So you only have to win round 3 to win the competition. Everything else is null and void. It's if you win round 1 like Chef Lee, it doesn't help you at all in the rest of the competition.
Yeah, and at the end of the first round, of course, they do the obligatory, like, don't worry, there's more rounds to come with more points. Essentially saying that this round didn't mean anything and you suck for winning.
Well, he does suck for winning. And like, spoiler alert, Chef Raphael wins the second and the third. So by the time he wins the second round, it's like, well, Lee's probably not catching up to you, or anyone could win it at any point. Like, Lee wins the first round, gets 100 points. Raphael wins the second round, gets 200 points. If Martinez wins the third round, then he wins. Like, then the other 2 rounds don't matter, ultimately.
But if you win, like, 1 and 2, and then somebody else wins 3, then you got a tie. But that's, like, a very low percentage.
Yeah, and then they make you fight to the death with your knife set for the rich's enjoyment.
Rodriguez Martinez.
Hey, it's me, Rodriguez Martinez, more like Tony Bitchell.
So, the Chef Raphael, is it Raphael?
The Frenchman? Yes, Chef Raphael. I love that we're not talking about Alice and Christian at all. Like, this movie's about them, but we're focusing on the subplot featuring Chef Raphael and Daniela.
Chef Raphael wins the competition, hands down. He's got a tart that'll make you swim.
He's got a tart that'll touch your fart.
Yes, and Mrs. Bitchell definitely talks about that.
Mm-hmm. Farm to fork to butt to mouth. That's what Chef Raphael is all about.
They should have had Bitchell go after Raphael, I think.
Oh, have a little bit of like these 2 women fighting over the love of this Frenchman.
Exactly. That's what this movie is to me, but we probably don't get to see it.
I mean,
it's on the cutting room floor.
I would have also accepted a subplot where Tony Bitchell's husband Stanley Tucci shows up and is just like telling her how much he loves her and he's such a supportive husband that it makes Alice question her relationship with Brett. As it should.
Yeah. Maybe go back in time and it was like an echo of a relationship.
I would love to see Tony Bitchell and Stanley Tucci over in Tuscany and just like riding scooters together in the 60s and cooking chickens and living in a rundown apartment that they zhuzh up and make their own because they fill it with love and just beautiful.
Well, speaking of Under the Tuscan Sun, Alice and Christian go for a little picnic. And all I could think of is Under the Tuscan Sun and reviewing that for this show.
I mean, a movie I've never seen, but your love of it is enough to make me want to review it for this show. Should we do it next week?
You know when you're just lying on grass and you feel all of the sun hitting you in the warmest places of your chi?
Yes.
That's Under the Tuscan Sun.
That sounds great. Under the Tuscan Sun from you sounds like Julia and Julia from me.
It is. It truly is. I feel like it warms our soul hard.
Well, hey, maybe next week we'll do Under the Tuscan Sun, and then to wrap up this trilogy, we'll do Julia and Julia.
Hey, oh.
Let's go.
Let's go. I feel like Julia and Julia has more Christianity in it somewhere.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, Julia Child does do the sign of the cross before she chops chickens in half and all that, so yeah.
Choppity chicken.
Yeah, Choppity Chiner, the chopped up chicken, you know?
Yeah, Julia Child.
Hey, exactly, yeah. Have a drumstick and, other stuff happens.
Brain, yeah. So that's basically Alice and Christian in a nutshell. It's just, picnicking and flirting and eye fricking. The whole movie.
I'm sorry.
No.
Now I can't hear that song in my head without hearing, like, have a drumstick and some other stuff happens.
That's how you write a song.
That's way better lyrics. Sorry, BNL. I've rewritten your song and made it better. Choppity Chiner, the chopped up chicken. Exactly, yeah. Sleep with more prostitutes and ruin your career, idiot.
Fun, though, while it happened.
Lots of fun. As fun as having a herd of sheep interrupt your delicious picnic on the hill.
Oh my god, goats, I think.
No, those were sheep that time. Goats are on the farm later when Brett is exploring the farm. Because Brett shows up. After the Gotham Gala, he hops on a plane and surprises Alice and Casey, and she is not thrilled that he's there because she's trying to fall in love with Christian again.
Her boyfriend, boss, head chef, has, like, I'm gonna choke you energy throughout every scene that he is in.
Yeah, big time. And, like, not even think twice about it. Like, he won't even, his eyes will be glassy like a shark's eyes as he chokes the life out of you.
Like, the way he explodes during the his final scenes is just absolute insanity.
It's crazy. Like, that guy is a real piece of work as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So he shows up to tell Alice that, hey, the gala went so well, the owners of the restaurant want to open a second location in Brooklyn, and they want you to be the head chef at that location. And she's like, all I've ever wanted was to be to run my own restaurant. But Brett is there to remind her, it's steak and potatoes. That's what we sell at the Bowery. So don't go thinking you're going to sell, French garbage. It's steak and potatoes, and that's it.
He says, stop French garbage, stop Asian hate.
Stop Asian Haiti.
Start martinis, steak, and potatoes.
Agreed, yeah. Agreed.
And she's very torn because Christian has, renovated this restaurant as a hobby. Because rich people can just do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And is looking for a head chef. So she's very much torn between these two worlds.
Well, and her dream is to run a restaurant, but run it her way, make the menu herself, cook what she wants to cook. And Christian, her former lover from Swedish cooking school,
mother,
Academia, is presenting that exact opportunity and a chance to rekindle a romance with someone who understands her and loves her, much like Stanley Tucci loves his wife in Julia and Julia.
Yeah, it's weird that these romantic movies always come down to somebody that they like, love, respect the opinions of, and on the other side is somebody that wants to choke you and hate your dreams.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, who is she going to end up with? Well, maybe the guy who hates her? I hope so.
Yeah, has everything that she's ever wanted, but will probably still have, say in the food that they produce, and probably take over eventually.
Exactly.
And maybe kill her.
Yeah, and push her out, of course. Yeah.
Because males are the worst. But
exactly. And that's why they make more money than women.
Exactly.
I think the biggest disappointment for me in this movie is when head chef Brett explains this like thing to her that, hey, you're going to get your own restaurant and blah, blah, blah. She goes, I don't know. And he goes, it's a lot to digest. And neither of them acknowledge that perfect pun. Like, there's not even a moment where they look at each other and go like, well, that's pretty good. It's a lot to digest. We're chefs.
Well, it's like my Fed thing earlier. They didn't know what they were working with.
Well, that's fair. He sticks the landing, though. So I feel like it would resonate with her a little. I mean, you and I have a mental connection, so I caught it, even though, you know, you kind of tripped a little bit. But he nails it. Yeah. And she doesn't even go like, good one. Nothing like that. Acknowledge a good pun.
Like, even with her eyes, she doesn't give him anything?
Well, she closes her eyelids, and much like Indiana Jones, it says "good one" across her eyelids, and he goes, "Oh, arigato gozaimasu."
I built this shrine for you.
What else?
Well, it turns out that the judges have to make a meal in the honor of the winning chef.
Yeah. So Chef Raphael wins. Exactly.
He wins hands down. He's the biggest man on campus. That tart was delicious.
Yeah, I mean, he wins hands down, but hands down Daniela's pants is how he wins, mostly.
Very much. Not down Tony Mitchell at all.
Ooh.
She's like the genie. She has no direct sexual relationships with anyone on screen.
True, and she doesn't have legs, and she lives in a little bottle.
Very blue.
She's an alcoholic. She lives in a bottle, and that's Chef Tony Mitchell.
And Alice makes the main and the dessert. Christian makes nothing.
No.
Then Tony Mitchell makes
the appetizer.
Yeah.
Christian makes the second appetizer, and then Alice makes the entree. That's how they break it up.
And it's a lovely entree. Every single person in the room is loudly talking about how good this meal is.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second there. Not only is it a lovely entree, it's the Blanc Cat du Veau from the start of the movie.
With or without parsley, do you think?
Full parsley. More most people are going like, it feels like there's too much parsley in this.
It's so green it looks like Pickwood, is what somebody says.
Yeah, I think so. Me yelling at my screen. I love that one of the people, like, because everyone's eating, and then you just hear like snippets of little conversations from the tables as you kind of like show everybody. And one person goes, "Have you tried this?" It's like, yeah, this is the only thing on the table. Yes, I've tried it. It's the only thing I'm allowed to eat right now.
We're all eating. This is why we're all here right now. And this is the meal that's in front of us. So yes, I am eating this.
Have you tried this?
The thing I heard that stood out for me is somebody says, "This is so good." And then about a second or two later, they play that exact same "This is good," but it's a little quieter. And then a little bit later, they do it again, but louder. Wow. It's the same soundbite of "This is so good."
Maybe it's the same person saying it, and the camera's just farther away from them and closer to them, but they just keep going, "This is so good. This is so good. This is so
Are you eating this?
This is so good. This is so good." So that's what
I think it was the same person, yeah.
I think you're right, yeah.
It goes to the judges, and the choke you boyfriend boss is like, "This is crap, guys. Like, this is supposed to be high-end food. Where's the steak and potatoes?"
And I love that, like, his the way he, like, disses everyone, and he goes, "What do a bunch of rednecks know about food?" And it's like, bro, you're the one pushing steak and potatoes. They're enjoying French cuisine right now, and you're going, "Steak and potatoes, that's good food." Like,
yeah.
Where are you at, bro?
These bumpkins don't know real food if they slapped in the face.
Exactly. I couldn't have put it any better myself.
Oh boy.
And so so everyone's at, like, the main cast is at the head table. So it's like Daniela's assistant, Chef Raphael, Daniela, Christian, Alice, Brett the Choker, and Tony Mitchell. And Brett is just crap talking this food that his girlfriend who's sitting right next to him made. And everyone at the table is like, "Yeah, no, we don't agree with you, man." Even Tony Mitchell's like, "Why don't you shut it down?" And he goes, I am the executive chef at the Bowery. And nobody in the room goes, who cares? Like, what does that mean in Kansas City? Nothing, my dude.
Yeah, he slams his hands on the table and he exclaims, I am the Bowery. And meat and the potatoes is where it's at, obviously.
Yeah, he goes, I'm going to choke the life out of this Cavon Blanc.
Instead of backing down an inch and just like shutting the heck up because everybody has a different opinion than you, he just like doubles down and keeps being a total butthole about this not being steak and potatoes.
And like says to Alice, he's like, it's okay, babe. Like, well, oh yeah, you're
no
right.
offense.
Yeah, no offense, but I think this is like dog food.
Yeah.
You know what would be
Tony
better?
Mitchell wouldn't even do this.
Yeah, you know what would be better than this like fancy French cooking? What about like a nice seared steak and some boiled potatoes? Why don't we get a little bit of class in here? Tony Rockefeller loved this stuff, all right? And he's the richest dead guy I can think of.
And we've been talking about this situation in this movie for a while, but it does go on forever in this movie. This back and forth of this meal
Yeah.
is insane. Like, take them out right away. She does finally take them out and serve them.
Yeah, but everyone at the table gets a chance to clap back at him. Like, everyone at the table pipes up and is like, no, you're wrong. We like this food. And even if you were right, shut up. Like, the chef is right next to you, and she's your girlfriend. Like, if nothing else, even if you hate it, still say you love it. It's your girlfriend, man. Support your partner. Yeah. Although, their romance is very weird. Like when they're like about to leave each other, like not, but like when he comes to visit her and they go like, okay, she's like, I gotta go cook all day. What are you gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna go sit in the hotel room and watch TV. And she goes, okay, later, and then just leaves. And you go like, sparks are flying between these two.
They hate each other at this point of their relationship. All they need is one straw to break, and it was a big straw because he just like craps on her in front of everybody.
Yeah.
But then she says she's done.
Farm to fork to butt to table. That's what he does in this scene.
And you're out my butt.
Like, she hates him. He sees her as a hole to chuck it in. That's like all he thinks of Alice as. So
yeah, and to make a lot of money off of.
Yeah, and to choke.
Well, her neck's really red throughout this whole movie.
Well, what does a redneck know about food?
Nothing.
And that's what he means when he calls someone a redneck, he means like, I could see myself choking you and making your neck red. Yeah.
He doesn't know any terms.
He knows any terms.
Yeah. He no.
No. So, I do love this line though. Sorry, I want to rewind a little bit to the start of this to this meal. To the start of this movie.
Yeah.
To the start of this meal where Tony Mitchell's introducing it and she goes, oh crap, I had this thing written down here. Where is it?
Find it. You can do it.
Here she goes. She goes, many of our dishes today come from France, which is French for France. And I thought, that's good.
That's good info. I could use that. It's also a big shot at pepperoni salami because they really don't give the Italians a lot of leeway when it comes to food.
No one cares about Italian cooking in this movie. They want French cuisine. Croissant. So then Alice kicks Brett to the curb. She falls in love with whatever his name, Tony Baloney. Yeah, they start a restaurant. It's all great.
Christian Baloney.
Exactly. But the best romance in this movie is obviously Chef Raphael and Daniela. Because after the meal and after everything's settled, she goes to him and she goes, so, I'm going to keep doing my job. And, maybe if I come to France, could I get a table at your restaurant? And he goes, you'll have the best seat in the house, my face. And she goes, oh, Chef Raphael.
It's very sexually charged.
It's French.
She'll have the best place in his restaurant, and I gotta assume that's right in front of a mirror without any clothing on.
That's right on his face. You bet.
A beautiful ending that that they're gonna do it.
Oh, yeah, they're going to do it for sure. Two old, gross people just slamming meat together. I can't wait.
A lot of slapping, a lot of loose skin at that age.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's why sex gets louder as you age.
Hey, Steve, what did you think of farm to table to butt to mouth to toilet to love?
I embraced all those words. I got my wife to watch this movie with me because we're kind of a fan of Hallmark movies and good relationship films. But I was kind of bored, and I give this a B-. Now, Adam, what did you think of From Far to Fork to Table?
To love.
Whatever.
I to loved it. You know how I feel about this movie. The only thing that could have made it better is if the Tucci man himself had showed up to charm us all.
It's really been a nice through line through this episode is the Tucci. And you're just like refusing to give him up in your brain.
I will not. He lives rent-free in my brain, and I'm happy to keep it that way. Until next week, when we do Under the Tuscan Sun, I love you.
I love you.
We love you. The P, the U, the R, the E, the B, the O, the Y, the S, it's pure boys. Hold up, it's pure boys.
Yeah, I got two throats.
The P, the U, the R, the E, the B, the O, the Y, the S, it's pure boys. Hold up, it's pure boys.
Say what?